Hello everyone and welcome to the third Crown Royal Truck Series test of this off-season. We're here at the Willow Springs Road Course out on the west coast for 30 minutes of testing here. The interesting thing about this though, the reason we're here in the trucks at the road course is because they're testing for the Cup race. Most likely there will not be a truck event here, but since we already used up our Road America slot for the road course testing for the Sundrop Cup Series, we have them out here this time in the trucks. The vehicles run basically the same, but this could help some drivers, put it on a bit more of an even playing field as they head into Willow Springs at the beginning of this season in the Sundrop Cup Series. We got 40 drivers in this testing session, a lot of trucks to go around, a few of them piloted by some strong road course drivers. We'll go ahead and see who the first trucks out are. It looks like it's Antoine Smith in the 00 for Shade Burkhardt Racing, taking his way around the course. We'll come across the start-finish line right there to enter lap 1. It's a bit of a not a smaller road course than some of them, but probably less tricky or less technical. A lot more of the sweeping corners. It's a more fast-paced road course, so we'll be seeing a lot of high-speed runs into these corners here at Willow Springs. Coming out of it, you might slide yourself wide, you might slide around on some people, and you're going to see the back of these trucks will be swinging around very wide here as they come through these corners. There's Zach Rogers for Texas Star Racing and Alex Fletcher for Ange Auto right up in front here. Francois Chastain in the 01. Of course, he only has 2 career truck starts, I believe, both of them coming at Mosport. His debut in the truck, he got crashed out pretty early on at Mosport, finished that race in 40th 2 years ago. Not full-time in the 01 this year, but full-time in the 01 Mountain Dew Custom Series car this year, which they will not be at Willow Springs for this season. Patrick Smith in 94. There is the big story here. Hayden Mears, not Casey, the son of Hayden Mears, the first son, father-son to be in the NSDCA, as Casey Mears retired at the end of last season to allow his son to get some experience and get his own racing career started. He will be making his NSDCA debut driving this 89 truck at the test for Shepherd Racing. They did not go with Charles Sanford this weekend, as Charles is not that strong on road courses, so we're going to see if Hayden has learned anything from his father Casey, if Casey passed any knowledge of these road courses and how to get around them down in this number 89 truck. So we'll see what he can do as he gets to go out and put down some laps. Fastest truck out so far, that is the 82 of Tommy Herdsand. Eli Bright second quickest, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. third quickest. The old man putting down a pretty good lap time. The rest of the field I don't believe has gotten up to speed yet, or yeah, no one else has really gotten up to speed yet, but now they're starting to knock down some of those lap times. Look at the rest of the way through this. There's Nicky Morris in the 7. It's Sam Picard this weekend in the 07. He's going to try to do his best for Mac Johnson Motorsports. They're putting a lot on this young driver in Sam Picard. Well, not really a young driver. This isn't even the first time he's been in the 07 number because he did make his career debut 5 years ago for the Mountain Dew Custom Series Impala Racing number 07, where, if you remember, he flipped wildly through the bus stop in the number 07 at Impala, which was one of the big factors in moving to no bus stop and removing that backstretch chicane from the equation at Watkins Glen. Picard is a great road course racer. He has 1 truck win at Iowa a couple of years ago at Monster Motorsports in the inaugural season in the number 77 truck. We'll see what Sam can do and see if he can bring out some speed that we saw Diego Yepes have as well in this 07 truck. We'll see how this team in a brand new truck, brand new team to the Truck Series will fare at their first road course test event. Matt Sladek's a road course ringer for SBR. Most of their team is, as if you count Aiden Smith being part of that as well. So we'll see what Sladek can do. Of course, his best run at a road course, 3rd at Road America after almost winning that race and going off into the sand trap. He just posts the 4th quickest time on the track. There's Peter Onjak chasing Larry Hagan. Hagan, a good road course racer in his own right. For KGM, only 19th quickest so far. And Daniel Kobza, he's a bit of a this is a bit of a home track to him. Of course, Auto Club is his big home track, but here at Willow Springs, he's just having a fun time out here in this number 44 truck, whipping it around these corners. There's Eric Monaco, Ryan Butcher, and there's Matthew Eves. I forget if he was out at the last test. I'm pretty sure. No, he was not at the last test. That was Colton Yo who was not in the truck. This truck did not go to last test because Colton Yo was not seen, and he still hasn't come back around to TSR. So I don't know if it's just Yo doesn't want to go truck racing or what, but this ride has been moved over to Matthew Eves. So the team that we thought would dominate this year with Colton Yo, he drove so well in the Evernham equipment. Now he's in this TS, and he was going to be in the TSR 48 that just won the title. That's not going to happen. So they go with Super Speedway ace Matthew Eves, a Cup Series driver. He's been one of the he's had a successful career. I mean, lately, no, but he does have 2 wins in the NSDCA, which is a lot more than a good portion of the field. Heck, that's even a lot more than Colton Yo has himself. So Eves is bringing a lot of experience to this, though. Will I see him running as strong as Jay Jefferson was? I don't know. He's currently 20th quickest in that 48 truck. Vince Freeze in the 60. There's Fitzwater in the 59, 10th quickest so far, trying to keep that car in the top 10 because he could get a bonus upgrade point for being in the top 10 quickest in this session. FPR is hoping that he will be the answer, but that's a very suspicious answer to be going for. We'll see what Fitzwater can do this year, but the road course is where he's going to shine. Some poor performances in the last 2 tests, both on ovals. Now at a road course, 10th quickest here at Willow Springs. Jesse Turner right behind Bobo Jones, Maxwell Fay. Bobo, a good road course racer as well. 29th quickest in that 27. Still don't know what his career is going to be like or if he'll be in the NSDCA come to the end of this year. Really, with NBM being here, he's able to drive for his own team in both MDCS and truck. That's all he has to hope for, is possibly he might be stuck at NBM for a while if he cannot get that car, get that truck, really. It's a strong truck. It's Monster Motorsports equipment and NBM equipment, which was good last year. So this 27 team, they got to prove themselves this year. Bobo has to prove himself this year, and right now only 29th on a track that he is supposed to be good at. Mike Cook, slowest on the track by 6 seconds, but I believe this is his first flying lap because I don't think you can be 6 seconds slower and still be pacing with some of the fastest trucks on the grid. So we'll see where he goes on this opening flying lap that he is on. Again, Luke Evans Incorporated really stretching themselves thin here, going full-time truck and cup racing after literally coming in last season as a DPDS team, doing well in a few races with Danny Lloyd, and now they're going truck and cup racing with some unproven drivers. Mike Cook, he's been in 3 years at Shepherd, mediocre stats. And Lotus Disparito, of course, in the Cup Series, unknown what she will be like this year. There's Tommy Herdsand in the 82. He is right now 2nd quickest, showing that SBR has a lot of road course power this off-season coming into the team. I believe Herdsand is a DPDS driver for them, taking over Archibald Buttersworth's spot as Buttersworth moves up to the Mountain Dew Custom Series. Gatlin Downey's back in the 19 after Max Anderson was in it last week. It looks like he went a little wide there. That's going to bring Herdsand right up to the back of him. Currently 35th quickest. So Downey again. RER was where he was good at when he was driving in the NSDCA. He almost got some wins there until his crash at Watkins Glen. He really hasn't been the same since, and hoping that a return to the team that possibly could have gotten him his first win back when he was hyped up as a good driver. We'll see if this will bring a spark back into him. 35th quickest, though. It's RER equipment a couple of years after the great runs that he had. So Downey's going to have to fight and claw this year, maybe hoping that his cup program with himself will be able to do better. There's Priya 27th, and we're looking, the 24 truck this week is Tony Wallen. He's 4th quickest, so the 24 truck, if we can go find him. There he is, Tony Wallen, moving from KCM's MMS program. I think he's moving up to KCM's DPDS program. And, of course, KCM RER have a bit of an technical alliance there. So he's 4th quickest. That's great to see for a driver. I don't think he's ever made a truck start. He has 1 cup start to his name, being the initial race for Digital Motorsports at Steelback. Of course, Digital currently, as of this moment, no longer with us in the NSDCA. But he is in this 24 truck this weekend, putting down some bad fast times. 4th quickest and fighting his way up here with some of the best in the business, including Riley Spurley tube there. There's the 71, Preston Emmons, Old Spice winner in the Mountain Dew Custom Series 2 years ago. Announced this week, I believe, as Butcher comes real close out. That's going to be very sketchy if we do see green flag pit stops in these races. Possibly the pit exit, just dumping you out into the corner like that. But Preston Emmons, it's announced the TRD will be driving, I believe, John Dilk's 10 races in the 67, and then it's Emmons and Cordell Smith splitting the 71, 10 races apiece as the 71 truck goes full time. If not, it is some combination of those guys. All three of the drivers I just mentioned are running 10 races next year for the TRD camp. Austin Delgado in the 90, 19th quickest there for KGM. Again, another road course ringer, driving for Onge Auto for, I believe, his second year at Onge Auto, but I believe this is his third or fourth year really in the camp, KGM and Onge Auto. So he might just become a Mountain Dew Custom Series lifer with some road course starts, and it's really done not too bad in the Cup and Truck Series. He doesn't really do too good, but he keeps the truck clean sometimes. So Delgado might be a good candidate just for like a mid-pack road ringer that you could use to keep your equipment clean. But other than that, he has one win at Old Spice last season. He finally broke through. Still really didn't do anything with it after that. Really just at Onge Auto in the Mountain Dew Custom Series to fill one of those spots. That's going to be the sketchy one, and there he goes. There goes Logan Bradley off into the abyss as he goes and hits the inside wall. Ryan Butcher also goes sliding off, and now everyone's freaking out because turn one is Calamity trying to get down into turn one. And Zach Rogers is going to slide sideways. So this is something I didn't see before happening, as everyone is really freaking out. That's fantastic to see here, as now everyone, it looks like, nope, Antoine Smith's still going. They're still freaking out. Aiden Smith just clipped through the wall. Okay. That's not good. What is happening down here? No idea. It looks like everyone's back off, though, and they're back straight. That was interesting. Must have been some oil or something down there. A lot of cars torn up now or with some damage, so that's great to know for the future scheduling requirements here in the NSDCA. But that's why you come out and test. We tested at ISM, saw some issues there. Not on the schedule this year after I was kind of hyping up to get on the schedule. Now seeing something in Willow Springs as well. So the West Coast really does not have good tracks. It's just Auto Club and that's it. Maybe Las Vegas, but Las Vegas can still be scary. Back on traffic though. Not back on traffic. Back on task here as we see some battling up here with some of the drivers that went off down in turn number one. Tommy Herdsand again still second quickest in this session. Looking at the rest of that top 10. Spurley Tube third. Sauber Racing Team entry in the 28. He has a win at a road course already. The 24, Tony Wallen, a big surprise. Matt Sladek, though, is a road course ringer. Great to see Sladek up there, 5th fastest. Alex Fletcher, I believe, is also good at road courses, 6th fastest. Eli Bright, 7th. Let's see if we can find Eli real quick. Last season, he was the dominant driver with Roger Ray heading into the chase. Both of those guys self-destructed their way through the chase and cost them a lot of time and basically cost him a title last year. He's the only driver in NSDCA history to win 3 in a row in the NSDCA. That was last season in the Crown Royal Truck Series, which was very exciting to see because now possibly that curse has been lifted. You've seen drivers like Yepes, Jefferson, Onjek, I think, and I don't know, some other good drivers, but especially Jefferson and Yepes, two of the most winningest drivers in the NSDCA, both should be over 20 wins for him. I know at least for JJ he's around 16. Okay, they're both closing in on 20 wins, but even those guys with all those wins could not win 3 in a row. They could win 3 out of 4, but could not win 3 in a row. Eli Bright, a very impressive feat there. And 8th quickest, 7th quickest he is on this run session. This is going to be the series he's going to have to focus on because in Cup, it might just be too little too late to really go for a title this year for a chase berth. We're going to have to see how they spend those upgrades coming out of this offseason into the brand new season. But Eli Bright, Ryan Butcher, Roger Ray, all in the same boat next year. They're all going to have to hope those Cup cars run a little bit better. There's the fastest car on track right now. That's Zach Rogers, 1/10 up on Thomas Herdsand. In the 82, Zach Rogers showing very impressive driving out here at Willow Springs. Is a good road course ringer in his own right. Really He's been pretty good all testing. This is a big step up for the rookie in this number 9. He's drove a few starts for Evernham and TSR last season. So this isn't like his first rodeo, especially not at a road course. So we'll see what he can do in some top tier equipment. And right now he's impressing. Fastest on the track out here at Willow Springs for this testing session. Now we're going all the way down to the bottom, and Mike Cook is still dead last in 40th. Looking at the rest of those, there is the 67 John Dilk, 63 Joseph Strigley, Maxwell Fay in the 32, Kyle Corbett in the 11. That is your 10 slowest drivers on track. And there is Strigley, Anderson Reed running this car full-time this coming season in the Truck Series. And it looks like Strigley out here in the 63. Good that he is up in Cup, because this truck has not been the best ever. It's been really not bad, but it's been slow very often. The truck is much slower than the Cup car in terms of its comparison to the field. So just trying to keep it clean this year. It wasn't supposed to run this year. Strigley was not running trucks. Was not going to run this truck until Monster Motorsports' Diego Yepes put down a fat stack of cash in front of Joseph for Anderson Reed to drive the 63. And now Reed will be in the 63. But Strigley right now just keeping it clean here back in 38th. Rose Henson in the 23, 34th quickest. Not too much better for BKR. One thing to point out, Austin Johnson, 33rd quickest. He's going to have to get a whole new setup on that thing, get some fresh tires on it, try to get a better run, because, oh boy, the 77 has not been good in testing in either series, really, so far this year. Other drivers down at the bottom, Bobo Jones, 29th to be expected. Stephen Walls Jr., 30th is a bit low. Nicky Morris, 31st, probably around where he should be on the road courses. Onjak, 28th, also another driver who's not really a road course specialist. Larry Hagan, Antoine Smith a little further down, Alex Peters a little further down, Jesse Turner, and Matthew Eves, 21st. Of course, you got a few interesting drivers here up in the front half of the grid, including right here. Oh, never mind. Christian Vargas is 32nd. Call me disappointed. He's very far back. Kyle Corbett, 36th. Back there. And Corbett is just hoping that Arklatex Motorsports could do better this year, could improve now that they are finally at Dodge like they were supposed to last year. Don't know what happened there. They ran Fords, but now they are at Dodge like team owner Cordell Smith's plan was all along. And Cordell drives for Toyota Racing Development, so I don't know what kind of combo this is, but if he gets a GMC in there, he'll have the whole sweep. The 11 truck of Kyle Corbett, doing his best to keep it clean. That's all they can do right now for LTM, and just run as many laps as they can to get some setups dialed in, get some equipment, get their equipment figured out, and we'll see what they can do there in that 11 truck. There's Nicky Morris, Matt Sladek 6th, Patrick Smith 14th, Eli Bright 8th, Maxwell Fay 37th. Shocker there. Matthew Eves 21st. Not a road course specialist in any right. He had a very strong run last year in the Cup Series. I forget where it was. I have a feeling it was Watkins Glen, but I don't know why. I think it could have been Old Spice as well. Either way, he had a good run at a road course, but he is a super speedway guy. His 2 wins are at Talladega, so we'll see if he can break through, get a win on a non-plate track here in the NSDCA. He definitely does have the skill and the potential to do so with the best truck on the grid in this 48 truck. We'll have to see, though, how TSR continues to develop this if they try to push Matthew Eves into victory lane, hoisting the championship trophy at the end of the year. Mike Cook, 40th again. LEI doing their best out there. There's Peter Onjak, 28th. CFRO very cautious about driving this 97 truck. Brought Peter in as a champion of the Mountain Dew Custom Series, a champion team owner as well, and was trying to get him into the truck to get sponsorship. That plan really did not work because they've lost a ton of sponsorship opportunities so far in the offseason. They were debating on whether they'd run it part-time, out of pocket if not. One sponsor stepped up. I don't know which one it is at the time, but they have stepped up, so Onjak will be running the full season for CFRO, and we'll see if this driver could finally get CFRO what they needed, really a veteran that could take hold of this truck and help them get better, because Patrick Smith, Stephen Wallace Jr., Dusty Neal, them only being at CFRO or teams worse than CFRO really was probably hindering them in development a lot. So a driver like Peter Onjak, coming from Andrado, drives for a lot of teams in the NSDCA, the most starts of anyone in the NSDCA. He's going to get them some good experience through this offseason. As we see 10 minutes to go left in this testing session, doesn't look like anyone else is setting down fastest laps. faster laps. Daniel Cobbs has jumped into the top 10. That's one difference there. You see Andrade doing very well, 4th, 7th, and 10th. And it's another Dodge pretty much lockout up in front where you got 1st, 3rd, 4th, 7th, 8th, and 10th, all Dodges. And the rest are Toyotas, except the one Ford of Tony Wallen 5th. Looking a bit further down, the first and highest GMC car is Vince Freeze 17th, and that's 5/10 off of Zach Rogers. So GMC still looking to be the worst one, as Bobo Jones has a flat tire coming around. He's almost going to be back to pit road, so that's good, but that might just kill any momentum he had trying to get himself a good clean lap here to move himself up the standings. As the 67 and 82 are real close there coming on through. So we'll see if everyone will get by. We'll see if Bobo can even get back to pit road. He's slowing down drastically. Now Alex Peters nowhere to go. Now we're seeing another issue here is he's just going to park on the racing line. Please get off the track before these three come in. No, they're fighting back there. So we're going to have to go up here and see what was happening. Stephen Wallace Jr. sliding sideways. Now we're 3 wide. SWJ's off into the grass. Save it there, buddy. He does. And they all get it cleaned back up. But Bobo Jones stalling on the track in the racing line did not help those guys trying to navigate this track here at Willow Springs. Bit of a tricky one. A bit of a slidey surface here, I guess you could say, here at Willow Springs. But what road course isn't chaotic and insane here in the NSDCA? A couple trucks have jumped up front. Larry Hagan and the 83 of Aiden Smith just put down flying lap times. That puts the KGM 25. Let's see where he is, if I can find him. I think I passed him already. Put Larry Hagan to the top. No, Zach Rogers answers right back in that 9 truck to put himself up top. So Rogers just said, hey, you're not getting that away from me. I'm putting down a very fast lap as this track starts to rubber in. Larry second quickest, Aiden Smith third quickest, and those three, 1:16.0 to now. Tommy Herdsand's now 2/10 down, 1:16.2. Vince Freeze jumps to 5th. Spurley Tube 6th, Cobbs the 7th, Wallen 8th, Sladek 9th, and Fletcher in 10th. One truck just gained, just jumped some spots as well. And I think it was Chastain jumped up to 19th, if I was seeing that correctly. But Zach Rogers putting down fastest laps, just like the team boss, Jay Jefferson. It looks like TSR is still going to be a threat this year, but the real question is, which one is going to be the one hoisting the trophy at the end of the season, if any? If you remember, we bring it up every year in the NSDCA. We always bring it up because the team's always fighting for a championship. It's the Andrade curse. They've won the title in Season 1, Season 3, and Season 5. Of course, those being multiple series. They lost the title in Season 2. Were not competitive at all that year. Really, the whole team, both Patrick Smith and Peter Onjak. Season 4... I don't remember if they were really competitive, but I know Onjak wasn't. That was the year Onjak was pretty down. Came back the next year, Carson Bowers wins the title. And then Season 6, Peter Onjak and Jay Jefferson fought for the championship in both series, and Peter lost it in both series pretty much in identical fashion. So that was the curse hitting him there. It's Season 7 now of the NSDCA. There's 3 series, and they are all dominant in all of them. You got Evan Hunter that could be good in that 44. It's just going to be a matter of time to see how he does in Mountain Dew Custom Series action. You got Kobza in the 44 this season in trucks. Alex Fletcher has been showing pace. So has Monaco. Let's be fair. That number 4 of Eric Monaco, that's the 46. That's the 47. Don't count out Turner either. Don't discount Turner. He has a year now at Andrade. He has some good equipment, but Eric Monaco's also been putting some good laps down, good pace in. So we'll see. Andrade has a shot to win it this year. And, of course, Peter Onjak, Carson Bowers, Tip Foster coming back with a vengeance after last season in the Cup Series. They're all trying to go back to victory lane, get themselves back into the championship fight. So we'll have to see. This could be the year for Andrade again to go back to victory lane, or it could be Peter Onjak's title in the Truck Series for CFRO. That would be a shocker. For that 97 truck that is, I believe, the 72 truck from last season, Smart Motorsports. We'll see how they develop as this season progresses. 5 minutes left in testing. And after that bit of shocking news there with Zach Rogers, Larry Hagan jumping up to the top, Aiden Smith third quickest, we're kind of running out of things to talk about. Don't know if I have mentioned all of the road course ringers, is Nicky Morris is going to muscle Butcher out of the way there as they go side by side and go past each other. Ryan Butcher is 17th quickest, Nicky 34th quickest, so double Butcher, and now that's where you get Nicky. Nicky's lucky to be in this testing session and be in the NSDCA in general because he caused both of the championship losing incidents for Peter Onjak. Again, there's been a lot of debate over was it intentional, was it not, was it just the truck being slow, the driver not knowing. You know, it could have been anything. But again, Nicky was one of the forefronts last season in that incident with Peter Onjak in the Trucks and Cup Series. Antoine Smith was one of the first trucks out on track, only 16th quickest, so still pretty good for SBR, especially after last season. They missed the chase in the Truck Series by both of them. They then went on to win 2 of the 7 chase races, so don't count out SBR. They're coming into this with a lot of momentum. We'll have to see what they can do this season, especially building now with the sophomore driver Antoine Smith. Will he have a sophomore slump, or will he be able to get himself finally into victory lane in the NSDCA? 3 minutes left to go. Couple trucks going at it here. Is Matt Sladek, Kyle Corbett, right nose to tail. Sladek down to 10th quickest for SBR. Again, I do not think he's going to be much of a threat at speedways, unlike his teammate Antoine Smith and possibly whoever's in the 82 truck. I think he can contend. I just don't think he can finish it off. He's never been good on the ovals. Had a lot of time even qualifying for ovals in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, and the truck's full-time now. It's going to be a whole another story now that he's not just running mainly road courses in that zero truck. You see Patrick Smith around the outside of Maxwell Fay there in that group of corners. 19th quickest for Patrick Smith. And Fay is just hoping to drive this season in the 32 and, you know, make every race. Again, this year, no more charters in the Crown Royal Truck Series. They're all gone. It's owners' points now. So the 32 is going to have to qualify their way in. Tony Wallen has blown it up on the 24 there, an engine failure on the 24. Patrick Smith also had a flat tire earlier in this event. So it looks like Wallen must have missed a shift there and blew out the engine. But as we're coming down, 2 minutes, 25 seconds. Couple things to note as we head on here. No more tests for the Truck Series after this until we're at Speed Weeks at Daytona. Of course, testing kicks off Speed Weeks. The 2 weeks of Speed Weeks, if you want to be technical. They start the weekend before the DPDS and Mount Molson Modified season openers at Homestead, those heat races, and the LCQ and the mains for that. And then you go into the week with the Clash on that Sunday. Through to the duels for all 3 series. Of course, the NSDCA taking that from the old NASCAR days, but applying it to all 3 series, the Mountain Dew Custom Series, Grand Rail Truck Series, Sundrop Cup Series, and the fans love it. They love seeing these guys race out at Daytona, and the drivers do too, mainly because, really, Daytona, I wouldn't say it's one of the safest tracks, but those guys can race each other with a lot of respect at the super speedways now. It just depends on what happens if people just... You know, you just can't get too aggressive at those tracks. But it always puts on some good shows, and we love to see some of the underdogs drive their way through at Daytona. And then, of course, we kick off with the Valvoline 200, Crown Royal 300, and Sundrop 500 to kick off our NSDCA season. The end of testing coming up here. Minute 12 left. A couple things I just want to, you know, throw some predictions out there. This year, as we've seen with testing, Dodge still on top, at least in the Truck Series, but Toyota has really been bringing their power back with the 82, 83, 0 running very strong in these test sessions. You also got BGM, who's kind of been running mid-pack, but the 17 truck ran pretty well at a couple tests. Ford looks like it's going to be another disappointing year for them. RER's number 24 truck's been running very well, but they're part-time. Not part-time, they're full-time with multiple drivers. And GMC, the loss of Monster Motorsports, just swapping that to NBM, I don't know if that's going to be good or be bad for him. This is a bit scary for Rose Henson there, the 23 being followed by the 89 of Hayden Mears, 22nd quickest. So, again, not as fast as Sanford's been in the oval tests, but that is a great run for a rookie, Hayden Mears, in this 89 truck, putting down some pretty solid laps. So maybe Casey did teach him a little bit. But you have the Jesus truck against the fire truck here in the 23, and if you follow along in the Discord, you know why that is such a significant battle in the NSDCA. Vince Freeze is about to come out and park the bus right in front of Vargas as Vargas goes right to his inside. We'll be reviewing this track before it definitely goes on. For Cup this year, through the tests, it was good racing or decent racing, but those issues there, some trucks, if they, have an incident at the wrong place in the corner, turn 1 could become calamity. This testing session ends with Zach Rogers on top, Larry Hagan second, Aiden Smith third, Riley Spurley-Tube fourth, Tommy Herdsand fifth. Then it's Freeze, Brown, Kobza, Wallen, and Sladek, your top 10. Fletcher, Bright, the 71 of Emmons, Eric Monaco, Zachary Fitzwater, Antoine Smith, Matthew Eves, 17th quickest at the end there, Vargas up to 18th quickest, Butcher and Patrick Smith, your top 20. The 21st place truck is Francois Chastain, then it's Hayden Mears, Logan Bradley, not the KGM 07, that is the MJM 07 of Sam Picard, Jesse Turner, round out your top 25 with Delgado, on Jack Peters, Henson, and McShane, your top 30. Then it's Bobo Jones, Joseph Sturgley picking up just a little bit of pace in that 63 truck. Stephen Wells Jr. with a pretty poor run in 33rd. Dickie Moore's 34th. The 1935th, that is Gatlin Downey. 36th, Austin Johnson, a very poor performance for a championship contender from last season. But then again, he really was pretty bad in the championship chase battle last year. Kyle Corbett 37th, Maxwell Faith 38th, 39th, John Dilks, and 40th being Mike Cook, some of the slower or newer trucks in the grid at the bottom of this one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Willow Springs here at the Crown Royal Truck Series test. It looks like we had at least a successful one in terms of getting through the 30 minutes, mostly clean. We will be heading out to one more Sundrop Cup Series test before this off-season officially ends as we kick off Speed Weeks with the Truck and Cup, and I believe, no, not the Mountain Dew Custom Series, just the Cup and Truck testing out at Daytona. Soon enough, we'll be seeing the Memphis and Atlanta tests for the Mountain Dew Custom Series. We will have one more, I believe, short track test for the Sundrop Cup Series at an unknown venue right now. It's been a great off-season. Thank you guys all for tuning in and keeping up with me. We thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time on the NSDCA.